And hello everyone, welcome back to NeelyFX. My name is Michael Neely, and this is the channel where I talk about foreign exchange trading, prop firm trading, building expert advisors for the MetaTrader 4, MetaTrader 5 platforms, and I'll be doing some more videos on those a little bit later. But for now, it's time for the weekly Forex look ahead because it's Sunday and markets are not open yet. They open in about 40 minutes. Not that you really want to go trading right out of the gate at 5 o'clock because one, the spreads are tremendous at 5 o'clock. So you really want to settle that down probably into the Tokyo Open, which takes place at 8 o'clock New York time. So what we have here is getting into figuring out what's going to happen this week or getting an idea. We keep our charts in the weekly time frame so we can kind of see what could possibly look for opportunities, some macro opportunities and technical analysis, and just in general trying to figure out what's going to happen next. However, it's hard to technical analysis does not predict the future. However, there are patterns that recur. So with that, let's go ahead and get into, since we're putting your money at risk, let's talk about those risks because you need to know about them. It goes something like this. This channel is for educational and entertainment purposes only and does not constitute trading or financial advice. I'm a professional trader, not a broker, trading my own capital. I do not solicit funds, manage client accounts, nor do I hold CFTC or NFA registration at this time. I have held NFA registration in the past. Forex trading is highly speculative with a higher risk of losing some or all of your investment capital. Only trade with funds you can comfortably afford to lose. And here's the CFTC risk disclosure. Foreign exchange carries a high degree of risk and may not be suitable for all investors. The high degree of leverage can work against you as well as for you. Before trading Forex, consider your investment objectives, experience, and risk appetite. You could sustain a loss of some or all of your investment capital. And I guess people call it investment capital instead of trading capital these days because that's what it's called. But for now, let's talk more about me. Here's Trading Forex for Profit. This is my website that I'm building to help traders become better traders. So it helps you determine strategies right here. There's a strategy right there, Bollinger Band mean reversion strategy, which is a healthy strategy. In fact, I have my first EA built on that. You can review your performance right here and see how well you're doing. And for example, shows Thursday is my best trading day. That's interesting. Never really considered that before. And that's which account is that? That's with you could review your accounts right here. It's my MetaTrader 4 live account with Forex.com and my MetaTrader 5 account with Forex.com. I'll probably have another MetaTrader 4 account coming soon. Probably going to institute my demo account into this too. I also have a demo account with MetaTrader 4 that I'll be testing EAs with soon. Instead of just going straight to live, which is a really stupid idea. But at any rate, that's how I do things sometimes. And then the journal right here, you can put in all your trades here or upload them. And upload your trades right here into the import trades section. Quotes, I have no idea what that's for yet. We'll figure it out. Settings, you can do all these things in here. You can edit my profile, my name, email address, and stuff like that. I probably should build my profile there, considering I own the site. And we've got all sorts of things we can do. Oh, and don't forget billing. We have a convenient billing platform here where you can test it for free and see if you like it. You can come in for a 7-day free trial right here under the Pro for $19 a month and Premium for $39 a month to test all the bells and whistles to see if you like them. And with that, it renews automatically. Mine renews all the time because I own the site and I built it that way. So with that, let's go ahead and get into some other things. Here's where I stand on the May Traders Cup with, looks like it may be over. Well, it's not, I guess it shows that when everything's not working, but as you can see, it started with 120,000. I'm down to 116.6, which is still well above the, I think it's $6,000 blows the trade out or blows the account out, but we're not there yet, or ends the trading cup. For me, my trading is not going well right now, and I should probably work on that a little bit better. And also, who knows? Here we have the mean reversion strategy, the Bollinger Band RSI mean reversion Pro for MetaTrader 4 and MetaTrader 5 right here. And this allows you to test out the Bollinger Band RSI mean reversion strategy. It works great. I have it works great under the euro versus the dollar on the 4-hour time frame. However, it doesn't trade very often, so that's the one drawback with it. I need to kind of pull it back down and see if it'll work on a 5-minute time frame or something like that. See if I can revise that to go even tighter and become even more profitable than it is. The MetaTrader 4 version has a profit factor, an insane profit factor of like 12. However, it doesn't trade very often, but it only trades profitable trades at this time. I'm sure it does not mean that it will automatically make millions for you, but it can help you enhance your trading. Let's see what's happening this week considering news. Here we have the ongoing saga of the U.S.-Iran affair going on, and it is just that, a saga. And right now, but this Monday, tomorrow, we have bank holidays all over the place. We have bank holidays here in the United States called Memorial Day, where we celebrate we don't celebrate much of anything. We remember those who lost their lives in World War One, and then it expanded to all wars. And I'm sure that's what the European and Great British and the Swiss are doing too, is remembering Armistice Day in World War One, which is supposed to be the war to end all wars. Didn't work out that way, as clearly because we have this going on right here. Let's see. So with that, Tuesday we have Japanese CPI, which is always something good to kind of watch, as well. And then the BOJ Governor Ueda speaks. That'll be kind of kicks on Tuesday. Australian inflation information. The Royal Bank of New Zealand will be making their rate decision, and they are expected to hold right there at 2.25. Let's see. ECB financial stability review. To me, that sounds like the Fed trying to say how stable the United States is, where we spend 125% more than we bring in. Let's see, which is not a good thing. Core PCE comes out. How about that? On Thursday, that ought to be kicks because of gasoline prices going up. We'll see if that what happens with that. Then we have GDP, preliminary GDP. The other was advanced GDP, so I think this is still second quarter. We'll see if it goes from. See what this is. Where's the folder I want? There it is. So this will be, good services. Doesn't say which time frame it's for. March is 0.07. It's expected to go up to 2.1% GDP. That's pretty good. This is supposed to be for second quarter GDP. Yeah, we'll call it second quarter GDP. Why not? These are about 4 months apart, so yeah. So we'll call that second quarter GDP at 2.1%. The quarter's not even done yet, but it'll give us an idea of what's going on. Preliminary GDP price index. That's always fun to look at. Unemployment claims, which has been a nothing burger since 2017. Actually, before that, 2012, we'll call it. And the durable goods orders, which have been nothing burgers for a long time, and as well as personal income and personal spending. And then we have Fed speak, BOJ system, BOC, financial system review. That's the British version. I mean, the Canadian version of what the British do, which they talk about how stable their economy is, and a whole bunch of news coming out for Japan, coming out on Thursday night. And then Friday we have Fed speak, Canadian GDP, more Fed speak, and PMI, manufacturing, non-manufacturing PMI. So that'll be kicks too. All sorts of fun news events happening this week. Let's get straight into the charts and see if we can figure out what's going on with this in this place, in this economy. Ooh, look at that. What we have here is the U.S. 10 yield, the U.S. 10-year Treasury bond yields, and they are not, they are headed right back up again. They seem to be kind of stabling out at 4.6%. That is an area of contention for the yields, and we kind of like that being a contention as opposed to 5%, which is where it went to last time. We got into this kind of bind with gasoline prices going up and putting higher prices on pretty much everything. So look at the Japanese 10-year real quick. We'll see what's how that is looking out. And something else, I've got a new time layout in here I want to take a look at. Given save changes I want to process, cancel, save these changes real quick, and then we'll open this up. And this is the narrowing of the US 10 the U.S. 10 and the Japanese 10-year bond yields. Now, when these two cross, that's going to be pretty much the end of what's called the carry trade between the U.S. dollar and the Japanese yen. And what that is major corporations that are buying, putting money into Japanese banks, converting them to U.S. treasuries, and then holding those treasuries, and then making money on the interest, then taking the payout of the daily payout on the interest between 4.7%, 4.5%, and 2.7%. And then that way they can it's pretty much free money to them. They get an additional 1.8% on their money, and all they have to do is just nothing. They don't have to do anything. It just happens. And the banking system pays them. With that, when these two lines cross, trade is going to unwind, and that's going to cause a lot of things to change in the dollar versus the yen. For example, right now, well, the 30 year is even closer than the 10 year, so we could be seeing the unwinding of the carry trade coming up soon. I say that because, whoops, I don't want that. I want this. There we go. Let's go ahead and get back into the other one. And we'll go back here. Oh, well, first let's save these. And then we'll go back to this other layout, which is right here, main layout. There we go. And then we're right back into the Japanese 10-year yields, and they are going up pretty steadily. That is almost parabolic, almost like gold going up, well above the 20-day, 50-day, 20-day, 50-day, and 20-week, 50-week, and 200-week moving average. And it's just off to the proverbial races. So this, let's go ahead and come down here to the euro versus the dollar. This has been going back and forth quite some time, since pretty much June of last year. Everything started June of last year. Something happened June of last year where everything just kind of decided to stop for a little while. I'm not quite sure what that was. It could have been to go before then. No, the election was way back here, March 2025. No, that's pretty much the election right there. So that, what exactly is going on? I don't know. Everything just seems to be seeking an equilibrium right now in the financial markets, especially in the foreign exchange markets. This is the DXY. This is the a basket of currencies, starting with the euro versus the euro, the Great British Pound, the Swissy, the Canadian, and the Swedish krona, I believe, is part of that. And there's one more too, the Japanese yen probably. But the 57% of that is the euro versus the dollar. So whatever this is the inverse. Is the pretty much mathematical inverse. So you can pretty much, I'm not going to say guarantee, but a lot of times when the DXY is hanging out, is doing one thing, the euro versus the dollar is going to be doing the exact opposite. That's what we see here. And it is topping out again at about 117.9 and starting to find its way back south again. Let's see, it starts at the 106.03 is where it fell all last week, and then it's starting to beginning to fall again this week. Could see it coming all the way down to 1473, which would be a good, 1409, which would be a good area for it to come back to, settle into, and possibly get a little buy action on that right about there, about 1445-ish. We'll see if that continues to be the same. Again, this is not trading advice. This is just my opinion on things based on looking at the charts. Pound versus the dollar. Kind of what is still struggling with this resistance area in here I drew a long time ago. We can probably stretch it out a little bit more to see how long that's going to last. We have the dollar Swissy right here. Dollar versus the Swissy right here. And it again is not really going anywhere. It's just kind of holding off. And it's where it's been holding off for quite some time. It broke out of this range. And now it's forming a smaller, tighter range. Much tighter range. Almost too tight to trade right here. The difference being 76.9 and 80. 80, call it 300 pips. I guess you could make some money on that. And then coming down to 70, that's 140 pips for the range right there. That's not very good at all. Again, you can see the ATR is heading south on that. Excuse me. We're still looking at RSI being below 50 on the weekly level, so it's not really time to come in and buy that yet. Dollar versus the yen. On the weekly level, it is just coming into the this little range again, 159.45, and again, everybody's watching the the U.S.-Iran situation, so we're going to wait for this to come down to around here. Here's the last time they intervened right there, and RSI did not come down a little that much. Came down and touched 50. The average looks like it touched 50, and then from there did not go further after that. So not much to talk about there. Still looking for that to unwind a little bit more. Pound versus the yen, approaching 214, but not really a whole lot of what do you call it? Momentum going on. So not really a whole lot of movement going on. Not really anything to write home about. We have the euro versus the yen right here, and it is again not really going anywhere. 184.70, where it's been for the last 3 weeks, pretty much. Then we have the dollar versus the Canadian right here. Again, it's coming up to 138.20, and it could be headed south again. We'll see if this pitchfork still holds. So far, it's been holding up well. It's sliding down, so we're looking for start seeing some selling action going into the Canadian. And then we'll see if it can break this little range right here. Otherwise, it is forming a nice little wedge right there, which I think that's a bullish wedge. Yep, that is a bullish wedge. So we'll see if that continues. On the weekly charts, Canadian versus the yen, not a whole lot going on there. Big oil came off pretty big this week, down to $96. Doesn't mean it's going to change at the pumps anytime soon. As a matter of fact, prices at the pumps are still going up. We'll see if that can't change over this next week, or especially in the United States. I'm not sure what's happening in the other rest of the countries because I don't live there. Aussie versus the dollar, right there. We have it's coming back down to 71.27. Could be forming a nice spring time for a nice spring action going up, springboard off of the 2023 weekly high close right there. January 2023 weekly high close. Gold getting settled in at 4,500. Again, 45.09, and not really dropping that quickly underneath that. Platinum under 2,000 at 1939. Palladium 1360. Silver right here at 75.54. And something I just like to look at, just because it makes me happy. The software sector is kind of springing back a little bit, but not really a whole lot to write home about. HubSpot tried to make a recovery, but didn't. Salesforce, again, these are all companies that, in my opinion, have forgotten who their customer was. Look at Intuit slide right there. That was to drop 63%. Are software stocks deep value or a trap? They're still a trap, as well, judging by this this chart right here. GoDaddy almost made a comeback. Again, did not. It's not a bullish engulfing candle. It's just a candle. And then Adobe right there, just kind of slipping off into right where it was a week before. It was around 245. And again, not really going anywhere. But then look at NVIDIA. It is off to the races. Oh, no, it didn't. Look at that. Big pullback this last week, down to 215. And Upwork, one of my favorites to watch because, wow, look at that. It's just headed pretty much south. They did make a fight to make a comeback to 1880, and that is not a lot to write home about. Nothing but resistance ahead. We'll see if that continues. So with that is all I've got for this week's look ahead. We've got a holiday trading, and then we're going to start slipping into the summer doldrums, where the Forex trading becomes very tame. So we'll see if that continues. This next week does not mean that there are not any trading opportunities, just means that it becomes a lot tamer than it used to be. So with that's all I've got today. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up button. If you want to see more of these videos, then subscribe to the channel. And lastly, if you want to comment, if you want to talk to me directly, then by all means, hit me up in the comment section, and I'll respond as soon as I see that I've got a comment. So you guys have a great one. I'll talk to you later. Happy trading. Bye.